Hey everyone, it's Zach with Palantir Research. Palantir stock is up about 5% as of recording this video, and there's a lot of news actually that came out today that could be the reasoning. So I'll go over that news and why I think this is driving up some buying pressure for the company, and then my overall thoughts on why it is actually that way. So even with markets overall up today as well amongst the shutdown talks, which is not news to me at this point in my life, seeing this time and time again, Palantir has been gaining that momentum carried from yesterday and that news of that $250 million Army contract win, which is huge. But coming out today, there have been more updates to this too. First, we've got an awesome podcast between Shyam Sankar and ARK Invest, where we get a lot more insights into the questions that at least ARK has for the company. And it's also good for retail investors as well to get that information. But as a taste, the discussions around Palantir being a consultancy caught the audience's attention, at least on Twitter, even though those who've been following Palantir closely know this is really a non-issue. They're just not a consultancy, just look at those margins. But yes, they use forward deployed engineers, but Shyam and Palantir want to solve real problems for their customers, not just sit down eating blueberries in their office, figuring out what the problems are in the first place. If you're the engineer there, you got to figure out from the end users. But check out that full interview there. You can listen to it on ARK's website or watch a video version of the podcast posted on their YouTube channel. I'll go over why this is crucial, of course, for driving pressure too later on in the video. But essentially, it's a very good resource there for investors. Next, we've got a $60 million NIH contract. No PR for this one, though, but as longstanding customers, it's nice to see Palantir continuing to do business with them, especially in the healthcare government side of things. For those trying to find this information themselves, just go to fpds.gov and look at the contract value for yourself there. It's all public information. Then, the NHS, which is the elephant in the room. Now, we don't know who won or lost this contract, to be honest, but at least Foxglove is getting out of the hair for now. They posted on their social media that they are going away, and a lot of who've been following Palantir and the NHS and kind of that drama there know that Foxglove has been a big part in spreading misinformation or propaganda around the company, and even if they are portraying facts like doctors wanting to be brought into the conversation, which is true, they exaggerate maybe the numbers of them and of the severity of it, making it a much bigger deal than it actually truly is. And of course, Palantir has taken steps to do that. So essentially, good riddance in my opinion there, and they have been clogging up my feed. So we still are stuck with the same issue of what happened with the FDP contract. Well, we see this as a good sign or a bad sign depending on your perspective. First, did Foxglove accomplish or fail their mission? You can give up now, right? That's what they're saying. Or they're saying they've finished everything so they don't need to do this anymore. We'll have to see the results in the end to really determine what happened. But also, we've ran into this before where the NHS decided to delay their decision, probably due to political pressure, of course. But it could also be the case it's out there somewhere buried to meet their disclosure obligations and just takes time to find it. But that's truly my speculation there, and once that information is found out, we'll truly get to figure out if Palantir won. But why is this all driving Palantir's price up and this different kind of news pulling us in different direction? Well, there's a few things in my humble opinion. So first is very simple, price action. This has been a sideways movement we've been seeing the past few months between the high $13 range to the mid 16s. If you can simply look at a graph there, you can see this is the case. It could also naturally just play out from traders doing this. But in addition to the contract wins, which are good for the podcast as well, this is a scenario that brings more clarity to general investors out there. The more people know about a business and its background and contracts, the better it can be valued more accurately or at least predict the trajectory of the company there. If you remove more of these kind of risks where you just don't know something, it allows someone to go in at a little bit of more premium than they were before. So the market overall might see less risks, which means they allow themselves to buy at a higher premium than they were restricting to themselves before. But that's just my speculation there. And honestly, in the grand scheme of things, as a long-term shareholder, this isn't necessarily a big movement. But of course, as we've seen with some going down to the $13 range, this is interesting to see them back up to 15 so soon. But that's just my opinion. What are your thoughts below? And thank you all for watching, and to my channel members, and I'll see you in the next video.